All right, so tonight we're gonna use the long bands again. If you don't have them, you can use mini bands, you can use dumbbells. I'll try to show you variations for each of those, or at least tell you what to do. Hi, Ann. Make sure you have a variety of things if you don't have your long bands. But we're gonna have lots of fun. We have just a lot of strength training tonight. We have a body weight blitzes in between, which will just fire up your heart rate. So you're gonna look forward to that and get nice and warm because it's freezing out there. So let's get warmed up. All right, so go ahead and we're gonna start with a nice flow to kind of just mobilize our bodies. I don't know about you guys, but when it's cold out, I don't move as much. So we're just gonna start by hinging at our hips. We're gonna reach our hands out past our ears. And as you stand up, reach your arms up and then touch right down to your hips. And just hold there for a moment, put a little pressure on your hips, and then we'll do that again. So tip forward, arms reach out, and let's stand all the way up. Hands come to the hips, and just put a little pressure. You can even lean back one more time, and hinge forward. And sweep those arms up, back, and around. Push on the hips. And then we're gonna take it down onto the ground for the next one. So flat back, hang your body forward, just rounding your spine. And from here, let's walk ourselves out into a downward facing dog. We'll let those hips go real high. So spread out your fingers. And we're gonna bend our knees. So just staying on the balls of the feet, bend your knees. And then press your heels down. Let's do that again. Bend your knees. And press the heels down one more time. And then walk your hands back to your feet, nice and slow. And we're gonna roll ourselves up halfway to a nice flat back. Go back to where we started, reach your hands. And then all the way up. And hands to our hips. And chin up. Good, let's do it again. So roll yourself down. Walk out into your downward facing dog. Hips are high. And we'll take those knee bends again. So crouching dog 3 times. We'll add on to this next one. Great job. We're gonna shoot ourselves forward into a plank position. So hold your plank, knees or toes, your choice. And we're gonna bend our elbows, come down to the ground, and release our toes, lift up. Now from here, we're gonna shoot our arms out in front of us. So lower yourself down, shoot your arms out, and hold. Thumbs up, nice strong upper back. And bring your hands under your chest once again. And squeezing your backside, lift up. And shoot your body forward. And hold. Let's do that one more time. So hands under shoulders, roll your chin up, squeeze your backside. Finding a little flexibility, a little more each time. And then reach your arms forward. Great job. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes. From your knees or toes, press your body up and rock back. Let's go hand to hand, back to our feet. We're gonna take our time rolling up and stopping halfway to reach our arms. And then come all the way up. And hands right back to our hips. All right, we're gonna add on just a little bit more. So hinge forward, and then roll yourself down, downward facing dog. And nice crouching dog here. Bend your knees, press your heels down. Let's do 2 more. And one more time. And we'll roll forward into our plank position, hold. Bend your elbows, lower yourself down, and lift up, hold. Shoot yourself out nice and quick if you want to. Lift your legs at the same time. And then tuck your hands on your shoulders, roll it up. Let's do that again, just making it a little bit quicker. And arms and legs out. And one more time, reach it up. And arms and legs out, hold. Great job. Hands under shoulders, knees to the ground. We're gonna push ourselves up, tuck our toes, rock back. Now take your right leg, lift it up, and swing forward into a lunge position. So nice long lunge here, look forward. Take your same arm as leg, reach it out in front of you, and then rotate up, back, and around. Follow it with your eyes, and then just plant it right back to the ground. Let's do that again. Reach, and then up. Give a hip opener here, and one more time. Reach it forward, all the way up, and hand to the ground. Great job. Push back into a downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side. Left leg lifts up. Take a nice stretch. Send it forward into your lunge. Knee over ankle. Reach your arm forward. Circle it up, back and around. And replace the hand to the ground. Do that again. So you're allowing a lot of time for your hips to get limber in this position. And one more reach. Very nice. Place both hands on the ground. Press back into a downward facing dog. And we'll finish where we started. Walk your hands back to your feet. Roll halfway up. And stop with your hands on your thighs. Reach out. Lift all the way up. And hands to your hips. Press down and lift your chin. All right, so that was just a little stretch to get us going. Now, we're gonna get into some harder stuff. So, feeling a little bit more loose, we're gonna do our body weight blitz that you're gonna see throughout the workout tonight. And we're gonna do it kind of at moderate intensity level, but the same amount of time. So these are 30-second intervals, so they're kind of quick. Your first one is a Spider-Man push-up. So we are gonna go back down to the ground. So Spider-Man push-up on your knees. We're doing the modified version, so you can always come back to this, all right? So regular push-up is right here. A Spider-Man push-up, one knee comes to our elbow, knee to elbow. So if you want to just do regular push-ups, you're welcome to do that. So let's start it off right there. This is just like I said, the warm-up round. So nothing too crazy, but let me get that 30-second timer going. Here we go. So your knee comes to your elbow, your core is having to work so much harder in this position. And you can take this real slow, like I said, just warming up. You'll notice that you'll try to lean to one side, so if you can, plant your fingertips to the ground. Great, let's do one more on each side. That feels nice, feel those obliques. And done. So sit right back, stretch out here for just a moment, and we are gonna come to our feet for the next exercise. It's a jack touchdown. Modified jack touchdown. You're gonna squat, reach across your body, step in, hands overhead, squat, reach down, and come up. So like I said, modified version, because there's a lot of these later. So squat and reach down, step your feet together, let's go. Squat and reach. So you're stepping side to side. Later on, this will turn into a jack. But I want you to see from the side. My butt is going low, not rounding to touch the ground. I'm squatting. And every time my hands come back overhead, and the further you reach across, guess what? The more your abdominals work. And time right there. So shake it out a little bit, take a few rotations side to side. Moving on. We have planks with a hip rotation. So you're gonna come down to the ground again. Like I said, it's all body weight. Elbows to the ground, knees to the ground. First option, your hips drop side, center, side, center. So just think about your rib cage staying still and your hips are pivoting. Now if that's too hard, okay, like it doesn't feel right, then just go to your toes and do little baby rocks side to side. Here we go. So on your elbows, knees or toes, little baby rocks. And you're gonna feel your feet. You're gonna feel your weight shift to the side of your feet. Okay, that's normal. That's where you wanna be. Just twisting it out right here. And again, you can always hold plank as a modifier. 3 seconds, and done. Good, rest down here for just a moment, and we will move on. Star crunch, we're gonna flip over on our back. So, your modified star crunch, arms and legs out to the corners. You're gonna reach one arm across your body to your leg, and then lower it back down, and switch to the other side. Here we go. And we reach. And these are slow. And you could even do a bent knee if doing that long lever doesn't feel great, all right? But reach across your body. I'm regretting my long pants. It's feeling a little toasty in here now. Come on. Might be cold outside, but we're gonna sweat it out. And that is it right there. Take your recovery, and let's come up to our feet. So your final exercise, we're gonna do bilateral Actually, we're gonna unilateral, so on the right first and then on the left. So it's a side lunge. So you're gonna lunge over to the right side, and then you're just gonna tap your foot in. Okay, that's the easy version. So side lunge, tap your foot in. So easy peasy, right? Here we go, side lunge, and tap in. So I really want you to press off that bent leg, drive yourself in. I'm gonna show you what it looks like later, check this out. We're gonna go to a side leg lift later on. So that's why I want you to get that motion of out and in. Perfect, keep going. 5 seconds to go. And time is up right here. All right, shake it out. We're just gonna go right to the other side. We're already standing, so let's go. We don't need a recovery yet. Take your time. In this warm-up, think about your foot placement, your knee tracking with your toe. Great job, great job. All right, guys, just 5 seconds to go. We've got this. And let's get one more rep. And we are done. All right, so that is your preview of your body weight blitz. So kick your heels up a little bit, roll your shoulders back and around. We're gonna get ready to use our bands, okay? If you don't have bands and you are using weights or mini bands today, you can either just hold dumbbells on your shoulders, okay, if you want to, or by your sides. Those of us that are using a band, guess what? Your right leg is going forward and your band is going underneath your right foot. So make sure it's underneath the arch of your foot, and then we're gonna rack that band right up onto our shoulders, and we're gonna lunge down and up. So as we come back up, we're gaining the resistance of the band. If that band's not tight enough, you're gonna fold it over the top of your foot, make an X, and then you just got a tighter band right there. So everybody's band's a little bit different. We're going 45 seconds per leg, but just keep in mind here, we have some other things going on first. So lunge down, press it back up. All right, so that's all it is. It's real basic, but here's what's gonna happen with the workout tonight. It is progressive, which means that we are gonna kind of stay in a similar position throughout about 3 minutes of work. So we'll have our front leg loaded, our right leg loaded most of the time in this first set of exercises. Great job. So you wanna work on that depth, next 90-degree. Whew. You always forget how hard static lunges are, right? Man, feeling good. All right, coming up next, we've got a kickstand deadlift is your next move. So I want you to pause right here for a second. Keep your band right underneath your right foot. Just bring your left foot a little bit closer. Now, if you've got a band, you're gonna need to choke up on your band, which means that you're gonna grab, okay, you're gonna maybe wrap your hands or bring your hands closer to your foot. If you've got weights, you're just gonna hold weights and get ready for a deadlift. So shoulders are gonna roll back. We've got our left foot back behind us. We're gonna hinge at our hips and then stand up. Now notice that I'm holding this band right up by my hips so that I can really get some activation in the upper body as well. Here we go. Time is started. The right leg is forward, left leg barely tapping back behind, and we're holding that band nice and taut so that we do not get a break on the up or the down phase. So you should be feeling all of this work in the right hamstring, right glutes to help stabilize, and of course the upper back as you're holding an isometric row. Good job. And again, if you're using dumbbells, you just have the dumbbells hanging down by your sides or right across the top of your leg, and you're still activated through your upper body. And one more time here, and done. All right, keep your right leg forward. Now here's where it's gonna get tricky. You ready for this? If you're using dumbbells, you're gonna hold on to your dumbbells. All right, or if you wanna have a mini band, you can hold on to the outside of the mini band. So we are gonna take it into a warrior three. And again, you may need to choke up on your band a little bit. We're gonna row, and then we're going to release. Now, if you feel like that's too much, put your back toe behind you as a kickstand, and you're gonna continue that row. Let's hit the timer and go right now. So try to hold flat back, soften your right knee, and we're rowing. So get your body parallel to the floor as much as you can here. Straighten out your back leg, and keep your hips rotated toward the floor and not open to the side. Woo! So we can feel that progression in our front leg, right? We feel how we've been putting a lot of weight on it for the last 2.5 minutes. Great job, great job. You're almost there. We've got 7 seconds left. Tap down if you need to, but just keep on going. And time is up. Woo! All right. Right leg might need a little rub down, right? So you can rub that hip out. You can move your hip side to side. Guess what? We got another leg that we're going to work. We're going to hit it exactly the same way. So now left leg forward. Put your band underneath your left foot. We'll start with those lunges. So right leg back. If you need to cross the band, rock it or put your weights on your shoulders for extra resistance. Here we go. We lunge down and up. Chest is elevated. Good job. And if ever your band isn't tight enough and you've already done the cross, you can always like wrap your foot in the band. That'll give you more resistance. Or you can go slower, you know that. Good job. Just focus in on your form. Only 10 seconds left. Feels good to be warm. I've been cold all day, so I'm loving the heat from my body. Let's do one more. And pause at the top. Good. Rack. You're going to take your band, choke up on it, maybe wrap your hands. Get ready for your kickstand deadlift next. So your right foot is barely behind your left foot. Shoulders are rolled back. And you're going to keep that foot on the ground and go into your hinge. Ready? Let's begin right here. So shoulders back. Tension between the shoulder blades. Oh, hamstrings are tight. It's always so good to work those guys because you know what? If you sit a lot, they don't get a lot of work. Come on. Good. Now think about pressure of the heel, not so much in the toe of the front foot. Nice work, nice work. How about 10 seconds left? All right, we got our final move in this series, and that is going to be your warrior three. So you're gonna set it up by taking your right foot back, lifting it up off the ground, choking up on the band if you want to, and then move into your rows, okay? So here we go. Ready position, right leg off the ground or kickstand behind you. And sometimes I like to actually wrap my hands instead of just trying to hold on to the band because it kind of slips out of my hands. So I always wrap my hands, even though sometimes cuts off circulation a little bit in the hands, but you know, short timing, it's okay. All right, guys, come on, 20 seconds. Stay focused in on your balance. Hugging your shoulder blades around your spine. And final 8 seconds, we've got this. And time is up right there. And you made it to your first body weight blitz. So give your heels a little kick forward, and then maybe take your hips side to side, loosen them up, and we're gonna start with our Spider-Man push-ups. So this is gonna be a challenging set. 30 seconds, we're gonna take very short breaks to get from one thing to the next, all right? So Spider-Man push-ups, following that, we'll go right into our star crunch, so we'll just flip over, all right? 30-second short recoveries. Get a drink now if you need to. Ready, set, and go. Remember, we're gonna try to do these on our toes if we can. Our elbows are pointing back toward our hips, not out at 90. And remember your option, on the knees if you need that. But 10 seconds left. We're gonna try to knock these out. Woo! Gives a whole bit of work for the core in these push-ups. And done. Flip over. Star crunches are next. Legs wide and go. We reach. Remember, short recovery is really no recovery. And if you want to make this more challenging, here's what happens. You're gonna sit all the way up, all the way down. Okay, or maybe even just halfway. Maybe just come a little bit up. And remember, keep those arms and legs wide. Nice job, nice job. You're almost there. After this, we are going to take it into our plank rotation. So roll over onto your elbows and rotate side, side. It's just the hips. Remember, you're rocking from the outside of one foot to the outside of the other. Great job. We'll just knock out all this core work down here, and then we'll head up to our feet for the big step. So you should feel this underneath your rib cage, even though your rib cage is not moving. Okay? Obliques. My feet are slipping everywhere. Now up to your feet, right here, jack touchdown. So get up, get ready, jack touchdown, and go. So jack and jack. So you're reaching across your body. Remember your low impact option right here is a squat. Take what you need. Come on. Turn up the heat just a little bit. And final 10 seconds, we can do this. One more, and done. Good. Right side lunge. Remember, no break. Just right into the side lunge. Looks like this. Lunge, lift. Lunge, lift. Modification, tap it in. Come on, push off the ground. Work those abductors. Woo! You want to stand straight up every single time. Come on, don't be afraid to go low. I know you have to push harder to get up, but you can do it. One more time, and done. Quickly, switch lead legs. Get ready for the left side. Begin, lunge, lift. I like to get my arms going forward and back. Helps me with balance. We'll take a big recovery after this. I know it's a long set. Come on, final 10 seconds. We're gonna get low in our lunges. Good job, good job. Come on, one more. And done. We did it. Okay. Now, the good news is that's over. The bad news is we're gonna do it again later. So remember all those moves. I'll remind you when we get back to them. All right, let's grab our band. If you're using dumbbells, you can use dumbbells. We're gonna do bicep curls. So put your feet on the band. Now here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna do a regular bicep curl, okay? And you're gonna lower down. In the bottom, you're gonna flip and do a reverse bicep curl. Lower down, in the bottom, you flip. All right, so it's just a little rotation. As you get to the bottom, flip your hands over. So we start with 45 seconds on our clock. And that is your first move. Get ready. And, oops, not into the timer. Sorry about that. There we go, okay. All right, curl it up, slow it down, flip in the bottom, reverse curl up, slow down, and switch. So knees are soft because you know we just came out of that little bit of cardio at the end of our series. We wanna make sure we're not locking out and passing out, all right? Good job. So this whole set, okay, the whole 3 minutes is really gonna be focused on biceps, which is gonna be hard. Biceps and forearms, but we can do that. So a little challenge is coming up next. We are gonna hold our right arm, okay, in a reverse curl. So hold your right arm in a reverse curl. Now left arm only gets to curl. So see, notice how my reverse curl is right about 90 degrees. So it's kind of right by my rib cage. Yeah, it's a reverse. So your palm is pointing down on the isometric, and your palm is pointing up on the dynamic. I know, brutal, huh? Come on, keep holding, keep holding. It's getting tough. If it's easy, you just need to make your band a little tighter, right? We can do this. Stay with me, guys. 8 seconds to go. All the way up, curl all the way back down. Now, all we're gonna do is switch to the other side, holding the isometric. And get ready, flip. Now, I'm sorry, but the arm that was just doing dynamic is gonna be extra tired holding the isometric, but it's okay, we got it. This is a one-time through, okay, set of work for all of these band exercises, so you don't have to do it again. Just work hard right now. And notice what's going on with your body. Is that isometric arm still holding tight, or is it kind of like hugging in here and using the body? You can even take it out to the side and slightly in front to make it more challenging. Woo! Come on, just 3 seconds to go. You've got it. And that is it right there, and recover. All right, set the band down for a second. And, sorry, I got something in my tube. We're gonna move on to a single leg squat. So what I want you to do is take your right leg forward and put your band underneath your right foot, okay? You're gonna hold on tight to this band. So it's similar to how we did, remember how we did the kickstand lunge? But now what we're gonna do is a squat. So you have a kickstand behind you, but your butt's gonna go down low and you're gonna come back up. So you can either hold your weight right here, your band in front of you, or if you wanna choke it up, okay, you could also put it up on your shoulders and be right here as well. So either one's fine, whatever you wanna do. Weights, if you're using weights, can go on the shoulders. Here we go. So single leg squat. So butt goes back like you're gonna sit in a chair and then back up. So begin right now. Notice that my right leg is bending nice and deep. My left leg's also bending, but it's not getting very much weight. It's just there for balance. Your knees are still tracking forward. In fact, they don't really go past your toes of the right foot. Now, using a band is really great because it's hard to tip forward because you lose resistance. So just allow the band to rest right above the shoulders. Whew. Gonna feel that like crazy in the right hips. And done. All right. So kind of keeping that same idea, here's what's gonna happen next. You're gonna keep the band under your right foot, step your left foot forward. Now, this may be too much resistance with both handles, so I'm gonna show you an option. But we're gonna lean forward a little bit, and we're gonna press straight up, and then let the band come, or hands come back behind as a tricep extension. If that's too much, okay, then you're just gonna hold on to one only, and you're gonna do your tricep extensions just like that. All right, so get ready to go. One handle, or both, or dumbbells overhead. And begin. Whew. And again, we only do this once, so don't be afraid to burn out. It is a little bit easier if you hook your hands together, and then you're not having to stabilize and move that heavy weight. All right, you feel your triceps? Leaning forward helps a little bit to get a more range of motion here. Woo! My triceps are on fire. Now can you push your back heel down so you don't lose your band? Come on. Look straight ahead, not at your toes. Almost there. And one more rep. And done. Oh, man. All right, good news. You don't have to do that again. So what I do need you to do is get ready for your squat on your other side. So put the band underneath your left foot. Put your right foot behind you. Either hike it up in the middle or on the shoulders. Remember, we sit down and then we stand up tall. So here we go. Sit down. Remember, all the weight's in the front leg. If you needed more resistance, all you have to do is wrap or cross, make an X in front of your body. Now, this is too easy. What can you do to make it harder? Go slower on the way up. Kind of resist. I know we want to push up really quick, but stay under tension a little bit longer, and you will benefit. All right, guys, let's get one more rep. This is it, and all the way up, and done. We made it. All right, guess what? Body weight blitz. Coming your way, get a drink if you need to, and we start down for those push-ups. So, Spider-Man push-ups. Let's do it. Only 30 seconds at a time. Just frame it in. 30 seconds. Following that, you've got your star crunch. and I'll tell you what's next after we go. Here we go. Spider-Man push-ups, knees or toes, begin. Okay, second time through, it's gonna feel a lot more challenging, but we don't quit. When you use your breathing, exhale when it's hard, inhale to reset. We have not done these for a very long time, so if they're brand new to you, that's all right. Do as many as you can. And done. Flip. Right away. Onto your back. Start crunch. You're ready. Get set. Open your arms and legs. And begin. Remember, that's your modifier. Down low. And if you want it, all the way up and all the way down. Just controlling in both directions. So our next move will be those plank hip rotations or hip drops. We'll just roll ourselves over. And here we go. Roll over into your plank, elbow plank, and make sure your feet are on nice solid ground. My hair is sliding like crazy. And begin. Rock your hips side, center, side, center. And we want to try to keep the upper body as still as possible while we're here. Again, your twist, just like wringing out your abdominals. That's how it should feel. Okay, twisting everything up. One more, and done. Woo! All right, we take it back up to our feet now for our jack touchdowns. Those are the hardest ones, I think. So let's knock them out right now. Begin, remember here, overhead, and add the jump if you're feeling it. Come on. This is really the only jumping we have all night. So if you're holding out, trying to be gentle on your joints, you may be able to knock this one out. One more, and done. All right, side lunges. Let's start on the opposite side this time, just for something different. So move to your left first, and begin. Lunge and lift. Now it's okay to pause at the top, right? Get an extra squeeze. We'll be using those abductors later tonight when we head into our core section of our band work. Woo! Come on, a little bit lower, and done. Get ready for the other side right away, and go. Right side, squeeze. You guys are doing amazing. And you are in that final 10 seconds right here. Come on, hold top longer, squeeze. Give me one more rep, maybe two, and done. Okay, we made it. Have another drink of water, please. And we are gonna use our band. We're gonna do some banded push-ups. I know you're doing Spider-Man push-ups. These ones are a little bit different. We're gonna wrap the band over our back. If you don't have a band, you're doing regular push-ups. If you have a band, you're gonna take it around you like you're putting on like a shawl or something like that, all right? But I want you to put it underneath your armpits, okay? So it goes around your back, underneath your armpits, and then you're going to want to wrap your hands in it, okay? So if you have your band, it's in your thumbs. You can put it on the ground like that, but most likely it'll slip out of your thumbs. So I like to just kind of wrap my hands so I have a little extra pressure on the band, okay? So from here, it's just a comfort thing. You got to figure it out. I can't exactly tell you how to make it work best, but just make sure your hands are on the ground, your hands are wrapped, and you're going to do a push-up and then press up. So if you don't have enough tension on your band, you may need to wrap your hands a little bit more. It's up to you, but we're on 45-second sets of work. And let's get that timer going. And here we go. So 45 seconds. Down, You may not feel this very much on the way down, but you're sure as heck gonna feel it on the way up with that resistance. Right, so it's still slow. And remember, modification on the knees, just like this. And again, your push-ups, your elbows are pointing back at 45 degrees. We don't need to have goalpost arms. Okay, that was kind of an old idea of push-ups. Not so great on the shoulders. So keep them pointed back. Come on, we've got this. You've got 5 seconds left. Let's do it. One more rep. And done. All right, take your recovery. We're gonna stay down on the ground. Now, if you have a mini band and if you don't have a long band, you may wanna do it for the next one. It's a prone lat pull. You've definitely done these before. If you've got a mini band, you're gonna hold on to the outside of your mini band. If you've got a long band, you can either fold it like this in half, or you can just kind of wrap your hands in it. You might have some floppy handles, but it's okay. All right, so you're on the ground. Your hands are wide, your toes are tucked, and you're gonna pull your band to your chest, and then you're gonna press it back out as you lower down. So let's give that a shot. Of course, you can also do it without a band and just do your arms only. So begin, if you haven't started, begin. Tuck your toes, squeeze your butt. Your upper body is lifting and then lowering out. You should be feeling your lats, you should be feeling your shoulders. Your butt is squeezing so tight as you lift. I even start feeling this in my medial delts, like the outside of my shoulders. A lot of different things going on here. Come on, you got this. Let's do 2 more. Last one right here. And done. We are gonna rest. We get to roll, we get to stand up, sit up on our knees. All right, and we are gonna anchor that band underneath our kneecaps, okay? So hopefully this works. We're gonna tuck our toes, we're gonna anchor the band under our kneecaps, and we're gonna press up, and then we're gonna slowly bring it back down. It's a military press. That is the goal here. Okay, if this doesn't work, you can use dumbbells, and if you don't feel comfortable having it under your knees, you could also do your band right here, okay? So, under the knees, make sure you glue it in place, and tuck your toes, a little added pressure on that band, up, slow down, okay? So, resist on the way down. Good. You can modify this by doing one arm at a time, but I do want your butt tucked under. That's gonna help you with great posture. Now, I don't know how your band is fitting you right now, but I like to have mine on the outside of my arms, kind of on the back. Everybody has a different opinion about bands and what feels good, so do what works for you. And you got one more rep. Come on, push it up. Up. And done. All right, we're gonna let those shoulders take a mini break for a moment, and we're gonna hit our core next. So remember how I said we're gonna do some abduction? It's gonna come into this set right here. But first, what I'd like you to do is to take your band, place it underneath the arches of your feet. If you don't have a band, you're gonna use weights and just hold on to them. But those of you with bands, cross your band, and you're gonna hold yourself in a V-sit here. So our tailbone is tucked, and we're just gonna hold. We're gonna press against that band. We're just gonna hold the band in place like it's an X across your body. You can also have your feet on the ground right here. If you are using weights, you're just gonna hold your weights right at your chest. So it's just some added resistance. Ready, set, begin. So hold, keep your feet flexed so you don't lose your band. As soon as you point your toes, it might slip off. If that feels pretty good, you want a little more, guess what? You can straighten out your legs, okay? Your hands really can be wherever you'd like them to be. Okay, you can even go out to the side and make it really hard if you want to. But we're tucking our tailbone, we're scooping our ribs towards our hips. Can lower the legs to make it more challenging. Just like this. We're almost there. Come on, exhale nice and deep into the core. And relax, good job. Woo! All right, right, moving on. Let's go ahead and move into a row next. So if you don't have a long band, you're gonna use a mini band on this one, and you're gonna be seated right here, and you're gonna pull one arm in, and then press back out, pull the other arm in, and press back out. If you've got a band, guess what? You're gonna cross it, because you probably need some more resistance. Separate your feet hip distance, and you're gonna row and release, and row and release. Now my band isn't quite tight enough, so I'm gonna give it an extra loop to create some more resistance. So do what you need to do right now and make those changes. 45 seconds. Here we go. Let's begin. We have a rowing machine right here, and we pull, we resist back in. So we want to be mindful that we're not actually rotating right here and twisting in our low back, but we are isolating and preventing rotation with a strong core. You want to work harder, you can tuck that tailbone, you can go back a little further, get some abdominal training as well. Great job, feeling good, right? Want to work the band in both directions. That's what it's there for. Good job, good job. Let's do one more. And done. Woo. All right, so now, like I said, we're gonna use our abductors. So you're gonna lay on your back. If you are using a mini band, you're gonna put the mini band around your lower legs. If you're using a long band, you're gonna cross it so that it puts an X right over your ankles. Now, we're gonna lay on our backs. We're gonna hold on to our band, elbows to the ground, and we're gonna try to separate our feet and slowly bring them back together. We're not letting the band do the work. Okay, so elbows to the ground, hold tight to your band. If you've just got a mini band, then that's what you're gonna do is just lay there and separate and then bring it back together. Here we go. Let's begin. Elbows, so open wide, slow back in. So it's a quick open, hold, slow back in. Now you can work harder if you want to by lifting up into somewhat of a hollow hold, right? Fun stuff. And upper body can be off the ground as well. Good. Take that quick, slow pace, please. You will be thankful that you did. Come on. You can do this. Almost there. And we've got 5 seconds left. My hips are on fire. And done. All right. Bring your band off of your body. And you've got your final body weight blitz right here. So let's start with our Spider-Man push-ups. Okay, so here's kind of just to frame it up for you. We have body weight blitz. We have one more section of band work, okay, that's a little bit less intense. And then we're gonna stretch and be done. So that's kind of what we're on. All right, so 30 seconds. Spider-Man push-ups, give it everything that you've got. Because like I said, it is your last one. Ready, set, and begin. Push up. Come on. Try not to modify. Try to stay in it as long as you can. I know it's hard. I'm struggling right along with you. Come on, use your breath. Exhale as you go down. Inhale to push back up. This is it, guys. One more rep. And done. Star crunch. Flip over to your back. Get ready. Wide arms and legs. And here we go. Reach it up. All the way down. Reach it up. Good job. Get those arms and legs to go wide, corners of your mat. And one more rep. Right here, bring it up. And recover. All right, let's flip over. Plank position. Quick changes. Rocking the hips side to side. And elbows to the ground. Go. Side, center, side, center. You should also feel your shoulders working hard to keep your body from rotating. It's just the hips moving. Okay, Can you go further onto the sides of your feet? All the way over. Come on, give it a try. One more, and done. This is that fun time when we come up for our jack touchdowns. So make sure your space is clear. Get ready, and here we go. Come on, jack. Remember, the only jumping you have tonight, right here. Come on, go to burnout. You can do it. A little harder, a little faster. Give me 10 seconds more. And one more time. Done. All right, final round of side lunges with the lift. Ready, set, right side, lunge. Pop that leg up. Reuse your arms for balance. Move it forward and back. Good job. Perfect. Don't be afraid to go low. Come on, sit down like there's a chair behind you. You can do this. 5 seconds. Great job. We're gonna make that quick switch to the other side. Right here, feet together, and begin. Sorry, my timer doesn't want to go. You got an extra break. Here it goes. Oh, you guys are so good. You kept going. Thank you. All right, now be mindful. We're not trying to fold forward. We've really got to push our tailbone down and back. And use the power from the leg and your arms to push you straight up. 3 seconds. Last rep. And done. Whew. All right, you did it. Move side to side a little bit. Take some rotations. We're gonna use our band, okay, for the last set of exercises. We've got some pointers with the band. Now here's what's gonna happen. If you don't have a band, you're doing body weight only. If you've got a band, you're gonna hook your right toes in the handle, okay? Right toes in the handle. The band is gonna weave between your legs, and you're gonna hold it with your left hand. So you can wrap it if you want to. You wanna make sure you choke up on it enough so that there's some tension. And here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna extend our leg back behind us, okay? Hold, and slowly bring it back in. So that's layer 1, right there. Get ready, 30 seconds for the first layer, and extend, slowly bring it back in. And you're gonna feel your leg shake a little bit as you slowly resist the band. Good. All right, so flexing our foot as we extend the leg. Now, we've got one more layer on this side, and here's what it looks like. We're gonna take our left hand, we're gonna place it out in front of us to create some more resistance. So go ahead and do that now. Left hand out in front. Potentially, if it feels okay, I want you to straighten that arm right here. Sorry, my timer is going crazy on me. So, this is your final piece of work. Straight arm, holding out either off the ground or anchored. Even if you don't have a band, you're still gonna add that level of intensity right here. Woo! Everything should be shaking at this point. Come on, 5 seconds. Done. All right, you did it. That wasn't so bad, right? Roll your shoulders back. We're just gonna switch the handle of the band to the other foot. So take it off now. And put your left foot in. And then we hold on with our right hand this time. We stay grounded on the first set with our right hand down, and then we add the lift when you're ready. So make sure you've choked up. If you want to wrap your hand for a little more stability, go for it. And just the leg only. So reach back and in. Good. If you don't feel anything here, what should you do? Just make the band tighter. Or you should really feel the shaking happen as you resist back in. That's where a lot of the work is happening. And think about your body. Are you leaning to one side or are you nice and centered? That's the goal. Okay, here's what's happening next. We're gonna move that arm out in front. First, offering us more resistance. And then, if we really want it, okay, we're gonna add the reach right here. Woo! I know that band is just like getting all up in your business here, but that's okay. You can handle it. Shake it out, right? 5 seconds to go. It shows you how hard you worked. And we did it. Roll your shoulders back and around. Now, it's time to take a nice long stretch at the end. Hopefully everything's shaking. I know when I use bands, everything shakes a little bit more than when I use weights, because you get that pull, that resistance of both directions. And it doesn't always happen with the dumbbell. So we're gonna start on our hands and knees, right where we left off. And we're gonna tuck our chin in. We're gonna separate our shoulder blades. And then we'll just lift our tailbone, lift our chest. There'll be a little bit of core imbalance coming your way through these stretches, but right now, just enjoy the relaxation through the spine and your hips. Good. Can you lift your head ever so slightly? All right. So similar to what we just left off with, I want you to take your opposite arm and leg. We're going to lift opposite arm and leg up. And I want you to reach back, okay? And just try to touch your foot. Okay, if you can't touch it, don't worry. You it's back there somewhere, that's fine. Just reach and hold. Good job. And then we're gonna send that lifted leg all the way through into a lunge. Okay, now we're gonna be in a 90-90 lunge, so we wanna tuck our hips. So imagine there's like a chair behind you and you're just kind of like resting your glute right on that chair. So tucked under. Okay, right here we're gonna lift both arms up. Ooh. So where you should feel the stretch is all down the left side. Okay, or all down the side that the knee is on the ground. Okay, all down that side of the body, arms up. We're gonna swing our arms back and tip our body forward. So swing our arms back, tip forward, reach those hands back. Now if you can, touch your fingers behind you. And then open them out. And then lift back up, tuck the hips again and hold. We'll do that again because it feels really good. And tip forward. And try to reach the hands behind. Separate them. And then all the way up. All right, so now we're going to take our hand down, the same hand as our front leg, take it down, and then lift up and over. Again, still keeping the hips tucked. And you're going to sit back. So hands to the ground. You can tuck your back toes if you want to, and sit back. But try not to sit on your heel, kind of slightly elevated above it. If you can get your right leg straight, no, good, but if not, it's not a big deal to have it slightly bent. It's a hamstring stretch here. Great job. All right, we're gonna come back to our hands and knees, and we're gonna round our backs once again. And release. Find a deeper stretch. Each time you do this, maybe move your neck around as you go. And round. And release. Good. All right, let's take the other side. So arm and leg, reach out, hold, balance. Much easier without the band. Try to reach back behind. You're gonna feel that opening in the front of the body. My foot is back there somewhere, I know it is. Try to touch it. And then place your hand on the ground, send your leg forward into your lunge. Remember, we're gonna tuck. So you really have to be active. Our hips are tilted back, and then the hips tilt under. So like if it's full of your, like a hips or bucket of water, you got level water right there. So we're gonna reach our arms all the way up, right by our ears, hold, and swing forward, right here. Swing forward, now rotate your palms open. So palms open, thumbs up, stay there. Move your hands a little bit closer, see if you can get them to touch. And then all the way back up. Retuck the hips. And tip forward. Again, once you're down, rotate your palms open. And then slide your hands towards one another. You got it. I don't know where my hands are. They're there. And reach back up. All right, we're going to drop the same arm as our front leg. Retuck our hips. Lift up and over to the side. And release. Tuck your back toes. And then rock yourself back. Again, chest up. Flex your front foot a little bit. Ooh, it's a nice hamstring release. Your hammies work so hard in all those deadlifts. Maybe don't even remember the warrior threes. It'll all come back to you. And down to the ground for a child's pose. Take your knees wide. Reach your hands out. I'm loving this stretch. I know it's not new, but it feels new to me. So we're going to thread our arm underneath, lay our shoulder to the ground. That's the first layer. If you want a little bit more stretch, you're going to take the arm that's forward, lift it up, and press your bottom shoulder down. Oh, that feels amazing. You're actively pressing into the floor. You can also just have a hand behind if that feels better. And then release. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Take your other arm underneath. Start there. And then when you're ready, that top arm lifts up. We put pressure into our bottom shoulder. Great job. And go ahead and stay back down in your child's pose. Walk your hands over to one side. You're going to feel that lengthening. So if your hands are to the right, we're going to take our left hand just slightly over our right. Left hand over the right. There we go. And then walk your hands to the other side. And right now goes over left. And we're going to finish right at the center. So you can come up onto your knees, or you can be seated on your heels. Take your hands, place them behind your head. So just place your hands like right at the base of your head, top of your neck, and just let your head rock back as you put a little bit of pressure. And then just tip forward, a little bit of pressure from the back of the head. And we'll lift our chin up and open our elbows as wide as we can open. They won't touch them back, but it's like we're trying to touch them back. And then wrap it all forward. And arms open wide. Good job. Let's take a big inhale all the way up. Clasp our hands at the top, grow a little bit taller, lengthening our spine, pull, pull, pull. And let it all release. All right, we did it. Woo! That felt awesome. I'm so glad we got bands. Man, it's so fun to try something new. So if you don't have those long bands yet, you're going to want to definitely make sure you get them. And they're really inexpensive, and you can probably even find them on, I'm sure someone's selling them online now that, not as many people are working at it at home. So it might be lots of cheap equipment out there for it. But you have to go. Have a wonderful night. Otherwise, I will be on for a few minutes if you want to stay and chat.